Tonight, imagine the sun dipping behind the jagged horizon of the Wild West, painting the sky in streaks of orange and purple. The wind whistles through sagebrush and cracked canyon walls, carrying with it the distant calls of coyotes and the soft clatter of wagon wheels over dry, dusty trails. Somewhere, a campfire crackles, its glow dancing across the rugged faces of cowboys hardened by relentless days under an unforgiving sun. In this story, you'll step into a world where survival is a daily gamble, where thirst, hunger, and danger lurk behind every corner. But don't worry. Tonight, you're safe here with me. As we journey through the trials of the Wild West, let yourself drift into the story, letting your mind roam across open plains and shadowed canyons. Before we begin, if you're watching from the US, Europe, Canada, or anywhere else, consider letting us know where and when you're joining. Maybe it's early morning in Berlin, evening in New York, or a quiet night in Calgary. And if you enjoy this adventure, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your support helps us share more soothing stories for sleepy nights. Make yourself comfortable, perhaps with a warm blanket and a soft pillow, and take a deep breath. Let the tension of your day fade as you prepare to walk through the vast, untamed lands of the Wild West. Now, let's begin our journey. The desert stretched endlessly under the fading light, a mosaic of ochre and gold that seemed almost alive as the sun sank lower. The wind was gentle but insistent, brushing against the rough canvas of a nearby tent and carrying the faint scent of sage and dry earth. Somewhere off in the distance, a horse's hooves clopped softly against stone, their rhythm slow and deliberate, marking the passage of time in this harsh, beautiful land. You can feel the heat of the day lingering in the stones beneath your bare feet, radiating warmth even as the chill of evening begins to settle in. The air tastes dry, faintly metallic, like the memory of rain long past, and every breath reminds you that water is precious here, a lifeline more valuable than gold. Ahead, a small figure crouches near a fire, stirring a pot that smells faintly of beans and smoke. The flames flicker, illuminating a face lined with fatigue and experience, eyes scanning the horizon for threats that may or may not exist. A coyote yips in the distance, and the sound seems to both warn and welcome, a reminder that this land belongs to no one, yet humankind still dares to live here. The ground beneath you is uneven, scattered with stones and brittle brush, each step a reminder of the fragility of life in these plains. You notice a tattered coat hung on a nearby post, swaying lightly in the evening breeze, its frayed edges whispering stories of hard journeys and harsher nights. The wind shifts, carrying the faint aroma of gunpowder and leather, remnants of past encounters and the relentless struggle to endure. As night approaches, the first stars begin to pierce the twilight, soft points of silver against the deepening violet sky. The world seems to hold its breath, waiting for you to take your next step, to test your courage and your resourcefulness against the wilderness that never sleeps. Here, in the vast openness, even the smallest movement can feel monumental. Every rustle of leaves, every distant howl, every flicker of light can hold meaning. And yet, there's an odd peace in knowing you are alive, even if only for this moment, even if only for a breath or two before the darkness closes in. The night deepened slowly, drawing a velvet curtain over the horizon. Shadows pooled between the rocks and low shrubs, and the desert cooled, the air now crisp against your skin. Each inhale carries a quiet sharpness, the scent of dust, wildflowers, and the faint tang of dry leather lingering like a memory. Somewhere above, the first faint whispers of stars shimmer, shy against the darkening sky. You take a careful step forward, your boots pressing into the sandy earth, the sound muted by the vast emptiness surrounding you. Every movement feels heavier here, weighted by the awareness of the world's indifference. A branch snaps softly underfoot, a tiny disturbance that somehow makes the vast wilderness feel even more immense. The wind hums through the canyons, curling round stones, lifting loose sand, carrying a distant promise of both danger and discovery. Near a narrow wash, you find the remnants of a camp-charred embers long since cooled, a rusted pan, and a scattering of weathered tools. It tells a story. Someone passed this way, survived perhaps for a day, maybe a week, leaving behind traces of their existence in a land that rarely forgives mistakes. You run your fingers over a dented tin cup, feeling its cool metal, imagining the water it once held. Here, in the quiet, it seems almost like a relic from another world, a fragile symbol of survival. From the shadows, the sound of distant howls drifts closer, soft yet insistent. Coyotes, or perhaps wolves, tracking the night. Their cries are haunting, echoing through the canyons, and for a moment your heartbeat matches the rhythm of their call. It's a reminder that in the Wild West, you are never truly alone and never truly safe. The land is old, patient, and indifferent, watching as life struggles against the odds, testing endurance and will. You crouch by a rock, resting your hands on the cool surface, feeling the rough texture beneath your fingers. The desert floor is dotted with jagged stones and brittle brush, each step a careful negotiation with the earth itself. The sky above continues to darken, a deep indigo now speckled with countless stars, their distant glow strangely comforting in contrast to the unknown that stretches around you. A breeze stirs, lifting the scent of sage and the faint smoky trace of distant fires. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the sounds wash over you, the whispers of wind, the faint rustle of small creatures, the occasional distant cry, and feel the pulse of the Wild West beneath your skin. There is struggle here, yes, but also a rhythm, a pattern that reminds you that surviving this land is as much about patience and awareness as it is about strength. The night wraps around you like a heavy cloak, carrying the chill of high desert air that seeps through your clothes and settles into your bones. Each breath feels sharper now, a quiet reminder of how thin the margin between comfort and danger can be in these lands. The ground beneath is hard, uneven, dotted with loose stones that threaten to shift with every careful step. You move slowly, your senses alert to every sound. A distant owl calls, its hoot echoing across the canyon walls, a lonely sentinel in the darkness. Somewhere nearby, a stream murmurs softly, hidden behind a ridge of rocks. The sound is faint, but promising a whisper of life, a potential refuge, and yet it comes with its own set of risks. Water in the Wild West is rarely free of danger, and the land demands respect for every precious drop. The stars above seem impossibly bright tonight, scattered across the sky like silver dust. They guide your path in the dim light, each one a quiet beacon against the vast, shadowed expanse. Your eyes adjust to the darkness, picking out subtle movements in the brush, a rabbit scuttling to safety, a lizard frozen against the cold stone, and the faint, glimmering reflection of a distant pair of eyes. Predators roam, unseen but always present, and you can feel the land's quiet, watchful gaze. A gust of wind carries the scent of smoke and something more primal, earth, warmed by the day, mingling with the faint metallic temps of old iron and distant campfires. You pause, inhaling slowly, letting the aroma fill your senses. There's a rhythm to the Wild West, a slow and deliberate heartbeat that you begin to understand, if only for this moment. Every sound, smell, and movement tells a story, each one a clue to survival in a world that doesn't forgive carelessness. As you step closer to the stream, the moon peaks above the canyon rim, spilling silver across the rugged landscape. The water glints in the light, a ribbon of possibility in an otherwise harsh, unyielding environment. You kneel by its edge, feeling the cold, clear water trickle over your fingers, tasting it cautiously, grateful for its cool refreshment. Even a simple sip feels like victory, a small but profound reassurance that life persists here, even against the odds. The night continues to hum around you, a mixture of quiet beauty and latent tension. Somewhere in the distance, the howl of a coyote rises and falls, echoing across the open plains, and you feel both the vulnerability and resilience of being alive in this unforgiving land. Each sensation, the cold, the scent of sage, the distant cries, pulls you deeper into the rhythm of survival, teaching patience, caution, and quiet awe. The canyon walls seem to close in slightly as you continue along the stream, their jagged edges etched by centuries of wind and water. The rocks are cool under your fingers, rough and unyielding, a reminder that the land here is ancient, indifferent, and quietly powerful. Shadows stretch long across the ground, twisting and shifting with the moonlight, creating shapes that make the night feel alive, almost breathing. The stream's gentle murmur is hypnotic, its rhythm soothing your senses even as the awareness of the wilderness presses in from all sides. Tiny insects hum softly near the water's edge, their delicate movements a subtle counterpoint to the occasional distant rustle of a nocturnal animal. Every sound seems amplified in the quiet, carrying with it the weight of life's fragility in this place. You pause to listen, closing your eyes for a moment. The wind whispers through the canyons, rustling dry leaves and brushing across the surface of the water. The faint scent of pine and sage drifts toward you, grounding you in the present, reminding you that even in the harshest terrain, life persists. Somewhere above, an owl glides silently, wings slicing through the cool night air. Its presence is calm, yet commanding, a quiet guardian of the darkness. As you kneel to drink again from the stream, your fingers trace the small ripples in the water, disturbed only by the occasional falling leaf. The coolness spreads through your hands, a contrast to the lingering warmth of the day stored in the rocks and sand. You feel both humbled and connected, part of a delicate balance where every action matters, and every choice can tip the scales between comfort and hardship. Suddenly, the wind carries another scent, a faint trace of smoke, perhaps from a distant campfire. It stirs a mixture of hope and caution within you. Smoke means people, warmth, and food, but it can also signal danger. You take a slow, deliberate breath, letting the sensation sharpen your awareness rather than alarm you. Survival in this land is never rushed. It is patient, careful, and deliberate, and tonight is no exception. The stars shimmer above, reflected softly in the rippling water, creating a dreamlike mirror that stretches the night into infinity. Each moment passes slowly, like a gentle wave, carrying you forward through this land where both beauty and peril exist side by side. Even in darkness, there is rhythm, there is pattern, and there is a quiet promise that, if you move carefully and breathe steadily, you can endure. The canyon widens slightly, opening onto a gentle slope scattered with low shrubs and clusters of brittle grass. The moonlight spills across the land, illuminating the contours of the terrain with a soft, silvery glow. The air here carries a crisp chill that brushes against your cheeks, a quiet reminder that even in the desert, nights can bite. Every inhale tastes faintly of earth and sage, grounding you in the present moment as you take careful steps forward. The desert night is alive with sound, subtle and unrelenting. the faint scrape of small creatures across stones, the whisper of wind through the brush, the distant howl of a lone coyote all blend into a calming symphony, a slow rhythm to guide your senses. You feel the pulse of the land beneath you, each step a delicate negotiation with rocks, loose sand, and the stubborn resilience of desert vegetation. A tumbleweed drifts lazily across your path, twirling in the wind like a delicate dancer in a theater of silence. Its dry, papery rattle reminds you of the fragility of life here, how even something as small as a stray plant is shaped entirely by the forces around it. You pause to watch it roll away, letting your thoughts drift with it, a gentle release of tension as the night stretches onward. From the slope above, the faint glimmer of distant firelight flickers, teasing your curiosity and caution. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but it promises warmth, perhaps food, and definitely company. And yet, in the Wild West, a fire can be a beacon for both friend and foe. You take a slow, steady breath, feeling your heart calm as you remind yourself. Careful observation, patience, and quiet awareness are your greatest allies tonight. The stars are more brilliant here, scattered generously across the sky, each one a tiny promise in the vast expanse above. The Milky Way stretches like a soft, glowing ribbon, painting the heavens with gentle light. You feel a strange comfort in this cosmic beauty, a sense of perspective that reminds you that the trials of today and the struggles of survival are part of a much larger rhythm. With your senses sharpened, your body attuned to the subtle changes of wind and earth, you continue along the slope. The night feels infinite, slow, and immersive, each step measured, each breath deliberate. Even as the land tests your resilience, there is quiet hope, here soft, persistent, and patient, echoing through the stillness like a heartbeat of survival. The slope gradually levels into a small plateau, where the desert seems to pause for a moment, offering a brief respite from the uneven terrain. The ground here is firmer, dotted with scattered stones that glint faintly in the moonlight. Each step feels steadier, almost comforting, as if the land itself allows you a momentary sigh of relief. The air is cooler now, carrying the subtle scent of distant pines, mingled with the dry mineral temps of the desert soil. From this vantage point, the landscape stretches endlessly in every direction, a patchwork of shadows and silver light. Low hills roll toward the horizon, and far below, the winding path of the stream you followed earlier glimmers like a narrow ribbon of liquid silver. The world seems vast, untouchable, yet in the quiet of the night, you feel a strange intimacy with it, as if the desert is sharing its secrets softly, slowly, with only those who move with care. A hawk calls from a distant ridge, its sharp cry slicing through the hush of the night. You pause to listen, allowing the sound to settle into your chest, the vibration mingling with the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat. Around you, small creatures stir, rustling through the brush with delicate precision. Each sound is part of the night's gentle symphony, a quiet reminder that life in the Wild West never truly stops even when the world seems still. As you move toward a clump of sagebrush, the wind shifts slightly, lifting a swirl of dust that sparkles faintly in the moonlight. You inhale deeply, the mixture of minerals, dried grass, and faint smoke from faraway fires filling your senses. Every breath reminds you of how alive this land is, how careful observation and quiet patience allow you to survive in a place that rewards neither haste nor carelessness. A distant light flickers again, and your mind drifts to the possibilities it holds. Perhaps a camp, perhaps a traveler like yourself, perhaps a small haven in a land that rarely offers mercy. You feel a gentle sense of hope, mingled with cautious awareness, like a warm ember glowing faintly in the darkness. In this stillness, each moment is drawn out, slow, immersive, and alive, inviting you to move deliberately, to feel the land beneath your feet, and to respect the quiet power of the Wild West night. The plateau begins to slope downward again, leading you toward a narrow canyon that seems carved by time itself. The rocks here are darker, worn smooth by centuries of wind and water, their surfaces cool and almost slick beneath your fingers. Shadows pool deeply between the crevices, and the moonlight dances across jagged edges, giving the canyon an otherworldly glow. Every step requires care, as the terrain shifts beneath your boots, a constant reminder that the land is both beautiful and unforgiving. The air is crisper here, carrying the faint scent of damp stone and dry earth, mingled with the subtle aroma of juniper and sage. Tiny insects hum in the quiet, their delicate wings barely audible over the distant rush of the stream far below. Even the smallest life seems deliberate, moving with purpose and caution, and you feel a kinship with these tiny creatures, each of you navigating a world that can be both harsh and mesmerizing. A breeze stirs, rustling the leaves and lifting the faint dust from the canyon floor. It brushes against your face, gentle yet insistent, carrying whispers of the past, the echo of footsteps long vanished, the faint trace of campfires extinguished decades ago, the quiet memory of those who tried to survive these lands before. There is a haunting beauty in this realization, a slow, almost soothing acknowledgement that life here has always been a delicate dance between endurance and humility. You pause to rest on a flat rock, feeling its cool surface against your palms. The canyon walls rise above you, looming yet protective, as if holding the night within their embrace. You hear the faint trickle of water somewhere below, hidden but persistent, a subtle reminder that life finds a way even in the harshest of places. The sound is soothing, rhythmic, and slow, drawing your attention inward as you take a deep, steadying breath. Above, the stars twinkle more vividly than ever, their reflections mirrored faintly in the tiny pools of water caught in the canyon's rocky crevices. The sky feels vast and infinite, a silent companion to the land's patient endurance. Each inhalation carries a mixture of awe and calm, each exhalation releasing tension until the night itself feels like a gentle cradle, rocking you through the rhythm of the Wild West, teaching quiet patience and slow, deliberate observation. The canyon narrows, creating a tunnel of stone where shadows cling to every crevice. The air here is cooler, denser, carrying the subtle scent of damp earth mixed with the faint tang of mineral-rich rocks. Each step echoes softly, a reminder that sound travels differently in these enclosed spaces, amplifying even the smallest movements. You move slowly, deliberately, letting your eyes adjust to the dim, silvery light spilling in from the moon above. The walls are streaked with veins of reddish-brown and ochre, remnants of centuries of weathering, each layer telling a story older than any human memory. Small tufts of hardy vegetation cling to cracks in the stone, resilient and stubborn, thriving where many others could not. You reach out, brushing your fingers against the rough surface, feeling the history embedded in every groove and indentation. A tactile reminder that the land endures long after we are gone. Somewhere nearby, the faint rustle of movement catches your attention, a lizard, perhaps, or a small nocturnal rodent scuttling across the canyon floor. Its sudden disappearance into a shadowy crevice feels like a tiny miracle, a glimpse of life persisting in a place where survival is a constant challenge. You pause to observe, letting the stillness settle around you, and notice how even in the darkness there is a rhythm, a slow, deliberate cadence to every creature's movement. The moonlight filters through a narrow opening above, casting long, shifting beams that stretch like fingers across the rocky floor. Dust motes drift lazily in the pale light, sparkling softly before settling again, reminding you that even the tiniest particles have their place in this vast, untamed world. You inhale slowly, the cool, dry air filling your lungs, carrying with it the faint whisper of distant wind and the subtle promise of dawn yet to come. A faint sound of trickling water drifts upward from below a small pool hidden in a shaded alcove. The sound is hypnotic, drawing your attention downward, inviting you to pause and rest. You feel the tension in your muscles ease slightly, soothed by the gentle cadence of the stream and the quiet majesty of the canyon around you. Each moment stretches slowly, deliberately, letting the night's rhythm seep into your bones, reminding you that even in the harshest landscapes, there is peace to be found if you move with care and awareness. The canyon begins to widen again, opening onto a plateau dotted with sparse vegetation and jagged stones that glint faintly in the moonlight. The air feels fresher here, carrying the subtle scent of pine mingled with dry earth and the faint smokiness of distant campfires. Each inhalation is crisp and calming, filling your lungs with the cool, quiet essence of the Wild West night. The ground is uneven beneath your boots, a mixture of coarse sand and scattered rocks. Each careful step sends small pebbles tumbling down the slope, their soft clatter absorbed by the vast emptiness around you. Somewhere in the distance, a coyote's cry rises and falls, a haunting sound that is at once lonely and oddly comforting. You pause to listen, letting the echo settle into your chest, and feel a quiet connection to the land, to its rhythm and patience. A gentle breeze stirs the sagebrush nearby, brushing across your arms and carrying with it the faint scent of dried flowers and wild herbs. The rustle of leaves and the subtle movement of the brush create a soothing cadence, like the land itself is breathing alongside you. Tiny insects hum softly, their delicate wings catching the moonlight, and you notice how even the smallest creatures seem to move with purpose and care, teaching quiet lessons in survival and persistence. As you walk slowly across the plateau, you spot a distant flicker of light, perhaps from a small fire or lantern. It is faint, almost teasing, but it promises warmth, company, or even food, a tiny beacon in a land that often offers no mercy. You approach with cautious hope, aware that the Wild West rewards patience as much as skill. Every step is measured, deliberate, attuned to the subtle shifts in wind, the soft whispers of distant animals, and the faint scent of smoke drifting on the air. The stars above shine brilliantly, reflected faintly in the scattered pools of water collected in the rocks. The Milky Way stretches across the sky like a soft, glowing ribbon, painting the heavens with quiet beauty. You feel your pulse slow as you absorb the scene, the contrast of rugged terrain, the delicate shimmer of starlight, and the rhythmic hum of life all around. In this moment, even the harshness of survival feels softened by the gentle embrace of the night. The plateau slopes gently downward, leading you toward a cluster of weathered rocks that rise like silent sentinels against the night sky. Their surfaces are smooth in places, jagged in others, etched by wind and time. The moonlight spills across them, casting long, shifting shadows that seem to move with the breeze. Each step closer makes you aware of the stillness around you, the profound quiet that only the desert at night can hold. The air is crisp and dry, carrying the faint, comforting scent of sage and pine needles crushed beneath hidden wildlife. Somewhere nearby, the soft scurry of a rabbit or rodent breaks the silence, echoing briefly against the canyon walls before fading into stillness. You pause, listening, letting the tiny sounds fill your awareness, reminding you that life persists here in subtle, deliberate ways. As you approach the rocks, You notice small patches of moss and lichen clinging stubbornly to the shaded crevices. Their muted greens and silvers shimmer softly in the moonlight, proof that even in the harsh, arid land, life finds a way. You kneel for a closer look, feeling the rough textures beneath your fingertips, marveling at the persistence required to thrive here. Each delicate plant is a quiet lesson in patience and resilience, mirroring the careful pace you must maintain to survive. The faint murmur of the stream drifts upward from below, its gentle cadence a soothing counterpoint to the sharp clarity of the night air. You sit on a flat stone, letting your hands rest on your knees, breathing deeply and slowly. The sound of water, the whisper of wind through brush, and the occasional distant howl form a rhythm that carries a sense of calm and stability, grounding you in the present. Above, the stars twinkle like scattered diamonds, each one a tiny distant witness to the vastness of this wilderness. The Milky Way stretches in a soft, glowing arc, and for a moment, the harshness of the world seems softened by the beauty surrounding you. The land remains challenging, yes, but in this gentle night, you feel the slow pulse of survival, patience, and quiet hope, wrapping around you like a comforting blanket. The rocks beneath your hands are cool and solid, grounding you as you slowly rise to your feet. The plateau ahead stretches wider now, opening onto a gentle rise covered with scrubby bushes and scattered stones that glitter faintly in the silver glow of the moon. The air carries a crisp chill, brushing across your skin and mingling with the faint, earthy scent of dry soil and sagebrush. Each inhalation feels purifying, filling your lungs with the essence of the wilderness around you. A distant coyote howls, low and mournful, echoing across the open expanse and returning to you as a soft, lingering hum. Its cry is a reminder that life here is constant, alert, and fragile, and yet it is also oddly soothing, a thread connecting you to the pulse of the land. You take careful steps forward, boots crunching softly against the rocky ground, each footfall deliberate, slow, and measured. Small creatures stir in the bush, a rabbit bounding away, a lizard freezing on a sun-warmed rock butt. The night remains largely silent, holding its breath as if watching your cautious passage. You notice the subtle play of shadows and moonlight, the way the wind lifts loose sand and dust into tiny swirls that dance across the ground. The desert is alive in its quiet way, and every movement, sound, and scent feels amplified in the stillness of the night. A faint flicker catches your eye at a distant campfire, small and golden against the deep blue of the night. It is far enough to feel safe, yet close enough to promise warmth and comfort. You pause, imagining the heat it provides, the smell of cooking food drifting faintly on the breeze, and the soft murmur of voices from travelers like yourself. Even in the harshest lands, small moments like these offer hope, a reminder that survival is not only about endurance but also about finding fleeting pockets of safety and peace. The stars above stretch infinitely, brilliant against the dark velvet sky, their light reflected in the tiniest puddles of water trapped between rocks. The Milky Way arcs overhead, a gentle reminder of the vastness of the world and the patience required to navigate it. Each slow breath, each mindful step, carries you deeper into the rhythm of the desert night, teaching quiet resilience, careful observation, and the soft, enduring beauty of surviving against all odds. The gentle slope leads you closer to the distant glow of the campfire, its flickering light dancing on the horizon like a small, steady heartbeat in the vastness of the desert. The wind shifts, carrying the subtle scent of smoke, mixed with the earthy fragrance of dry brush and sun-baked soil. Each step you take feels purposeful yet unhurried, as though the land itself guides you toward a place of temporary refuge. The plateau beneath your feet is rough and uneven, scattered with pebbles that crunch softly with each step. Occasionally, a small tumbleweed rolls lazily across your path, lifted and twirled by the playful wind. Its dry, papery rustle is almost musical, a gentle accompaniment to the distant hum of nocturnal life. You pause to observe it for a moment, letting its slow, drifting motion calm your mind, reminding you that even in a harsh world, there are patterns of quiet beauty. From the shadows of nearby shrubs, a pair of glowing eyes reflects the moonlight. For a brief instant, a fox, curious but cautious, watching silently before slipping away into the night. You inhale deeply, tasting the crisp desert air, carrying hints of sage, pine, and the faint metallic trace of distant rock. Every sense feels heightened, alive to the subtle signals of this untamed land, teaching awareness, patience, and reverence. The campfire flickers again, growing slightly larger as you move closer, a warm orange glow against the deep indigo of the night. You imagine the smell of cooking meat and the soft murmur of voices, the crackle of flames offering both comfort and companionship. Even from a distance, it feels like a small sanctuary, a temporary pause in a landscape that rarely allows rest. The idea of warmth, light, and safety infuses you with a quiet hope, a gentle reminder that even in harsh wilderness, survival carries moments of reward. Above, the stars remain brilliant, scattered across the night sky like a cosmic tapestry. The Milky Way glows softly, its silver ribbons stretching from horizon to horizon, and you feel the vastness of the universe pressing gently against the edges of your awareness. The desert, with all its challenges and quiet wonders, teaches patience and reverence. Each step forward is slow, deliberate, and mindful, each breath steady and calm, carrying you deeper into the rhythm of survival and the quiet lull of the Wild West night. The light from the campfire grows warmer as you draw nearer, soft flickers illuminating the surrounding rocks and casting long, gentle shadows that stretch across the desert floor. The air carries the comforting scent of smoke mingled with dry herbs and the faint aroma of food cooking over low flames. It is a small oasis of life in the vast, indifferent expanse, and the sight of it fills you with quiet relief. The plateau slopes downward more gradually here, stones giving way to patches of sand and scrub, and each step feels easier, more secure. Tiny creatures rustle softly in the brush, a lizard skittering across a sun-warmed rock, a rabbit pausing briefly before darting away. Their presence is subtle but alive, part of the delicate balance of the Wild West night. You move slowly, attuned to each sound and shadow, knowing that awareness is as vital as courage in this unforgiving land. As you approach the fire, the warmth brushes against your skin like a gentle hand, coaxing a sense of comfort from the cool night air. Sparks rise in delicate arcs, disappearing into the sky, each one a fleeting echo of human effort against the vastness of the wilderness. You notice the faint shimmer of metal cooking tools and the rough textures of leather and cloth that make up the small encampment. Everything is functional, worn, and weathered by both time and the elements. Yet there is an undeniable sense of careful order, a rhythm born from necessity. The voices of those tending the fire are soft, measured, almost melodic in the stillness. They speak in low tones, laughter mingling with quiet conversation, carrying a sense of community that contrasts the harsh, solitary stretches you have traveled. You take a deep breath, letting the warmth and gentle sounds wash over you, easing the tension in your muscles and calming your mind. Even in the Wild West, moments like this offer quiet reassurance, proof that resilience is not only about survival, but also about connection, even fleeting. Above, the stars gleam brighter than ever, scattered generously across the dark canvas of night. The Milky Way arcs gracefully, mirrored faintly in the small pools of water and the reflective surfaces of rocks around the camp. Each breath you take is slow, deliberate, synchronized with the rhythm of the night, the wind whispering through brush, the crackle of the fire, the soft, steady hum of life in the desert. In this moment, the land feels alive yet gentle, a silent teacher showing you that survival in the Wild West is as much about patience, calm observation, and reverence for life as it is about strength. The warmth of the campfire envelops you as you step closer, a gentle contrast to the crisp night air brushing your skin. Shadows flicker across the surrounding rocks, and the firelight dances on the faces of those tending it, illuminating lines of fatigue, concentration, and quiet contentment. Each movement stirring a pot, shifting a log, brushing sand from a worn coat feels deliberate, practiced, and purposeful. There is a rhythm here, slow and patient, one born from necessity and experience. The desert around the camp seems softer now, the rocks less imposing, the sand beneath your boots more yielding. Tiny rustlings in the brush are almost melodic, the scuttle of a nocturnal rodent, the faint flutter of wings, the distant echo of a coyote's call. Even the smallest sounds are part of the night's symphony, each one a reminder that life persists, quietly but insistently, in every corner of this land. You kneel by a shallow pool of water nearby, letting your fingers touch the cool surface. The moonlight shimmers on the ripples, creating patterns that shift slowly, hypnotically, almost like a lullaby in motion. The scent of sagebrush and pine fills your senses, mingling with the smoky aroma of the fire, forming a subtle, soothing perfume of survival and patience. Each breath carries both calm and awareness, anchoring you to this fragile balance between safety and the wilderness beyond. The campfire crackles gently, sending tiny sparks swirling upward into the night. They float briefly before disappearing into the dark sky, a delicate reminder of the transient nature of warmth, comfort, and life itself. Around the fire, the low murmur of voices blends with the ambient sounds of the desert, creating a slow, rhythmic harmony that wraps around you, easing tension and coaxing a deep sense of presence. Above, the stars gleam steadily, brilliant in their clarity against the deep indigo sky. The Milky Way stretches like a soft ribbon across the heavens, and you feel the infinite expanse of the universe pressing gently against your awareness. In this moment, the harshness of survival is softened by the quiet embrace of night, the gentle warmth of fire, and the patient rhythm of life. You inhale slowly, letting the stillness, the scents, and the soft sounds carry you into a gentle awareness of calm, resilience, and the quiet wonder of the Wild West night. You step closer to the fire, letting its warmth seep into your chilled bones. The orange glow dances across the rough surfaces of rocks and scattered tools, giving them a soft, almost magical hue. The air is rich with the mingling scents of smoke, cooked food, and dry desert herbs. Each inhalation feels grounding, connecting you to the moment, to the camp, and to the slow, deliberate rhythm of survival that surrounds you. The voices around the fire are low and measured, carrying quiet stories of the day, of the trails crossed, of challenges faced. Their tones rise and fall like gentle waves, blending with the occasional crackle of burning wood. A piece of dried meat sizzles softly in a pan, the sound almost hypnotic in its simplicity, while a faint whiff of it drifts across the camp, promising nourishment and a small comfort against the chill of the night. Above, the stars are brilliant and constant, scattered across the velvet sky. The Milky Way stretches in a glowing arc, mirrored faintly in the shallow pools of water collected in nearby stones. Each point of light feels like a quiet companion, distant yet reassuring, a reminder that the vastness of the desert is part of a larger, enduring world. Your eyes linger on the stars as you breathe slowly, feeling the tension in your muscles ease, your heartbeat settling into the unhurried rhythm of the night. A gentle breeze stirs, lifting the faint dust of the plateau and carrying the subtle scent of sage and dry earth. The wind brushes against your face, almost like a whisper, reminding you that even in this harsh wilderness, there is grace and softness if you move with patience and awareness. Somewhere in the distance, a coyote yips, its voice rising and fading in the vast expanse, blending seamlessly with the quiet symphony of the desert. You settle on a flat rock near the fire, letting the warmth seep into you while your gaze drifts over the shadows and highlights of the camp. The night stretches outward, vast and silent, yet alive with subtle life. Each sound, each flicker of light, each whisper of wind becomes part of a slow, calming rhythm that guides you deeper into the night. The Wild West is harsh and unforgiving, yes, but here, in the quiet embrace of firelight and starlight, there is also patience, resilience, and the gentle promise of enduring through every challenge. The fire crackles gently, its warmth a soft companion against the cool desert air. You sit nearby, feeling the heat seep into your bones, while the flickering light paints shifting patterns on the surrounding rocks. Shadows stretch and shrink, rising like silent dancers across the sand and stones, their slow motion soothing in its rhythm. The night hums softly around you, carrying the faint rustle of brush, the distant howl of a coyote, and the quiet murmur of the campfire. The plateau beneath your feet is uneven but steady, dotted with tufts of sage and clumps of desert grass that swayed gently in the breeze. Each step you took to reach this spot now feels like a meditation in motion, a deliberate journey through the vastness of the Wild West. The air is cool and dry, carrying the scent of pine, earth, and the faint smokiness from the fire. Every inhalation is grounding, each exhalation releases tension, allowing the night to settle around you like a soft blanket. Near the fire, the low murmur of voices tells of small victories and quiet struggles, a horse guided safely through rocky terrain, water found in a hidden spring, food prepared over patient flames. There is pride here, measured and calm, the kind that comes from enduring and surviving in a land that does not forgive carelessness. You feel a gentle comfort in observing this, a sense of connection to the rhythms of survival that surround you. Above, the stars are steady and brilliant, scattered across the deep indigo sky like shards of silver. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens, its soft, glowing ribbon mirrored faintly in the pools of water nestled in the rocks. You let your gaze linger, letting the vastness of the universe press gently against your awareness, a quiet reminder of your place in this immense, ancient land. The night air stirs with a gentle breeze, brushing against your skin and rustling the leaves of sage and juniper. Its whispering movement seems almost like a lullaby, guiding you toward calm and alert presence simultaneously. You breathe slowly, absorbing the warmth of the fire, the coolness of the desert night, and the soft harmony of life that pulses quietly all around. In this moment, you understand that the Wild West is both formidable and mesmerizing, a place where patience, observation, and steady courage are rewarded by fleeting moments of serenity and connection. The firelight dances softly across the rocks, creating an intimate circle of warmth amidst the vast open darkness of the desert. You sit close, feeling the gentle heat seep into your body, a welcome contrast to the crisp night air brushing against your cheeks and hands. The faint scent of smoke mingles with the earthy aroma of dry sagebrush and the subtle fragrance of distant pine, wrapping around you like a comforting, invisible shawl. The night hums quietly with life. Somewhere, A rabbit scurries through the underbrush, its movement deliberate and careful. Overhead, the soft rustle of wings hints at owls gliding silently through the sky, hunting under the watchful gaze of the stars. Even the tiniest creatures move with purpose and grace, a quiet testament to the rhythms of survival in this rugged land. Each sound, though small, feels amplified in the stillness, drawing you deeper into awareness and gentle calm. A breeze stirs, lifting grains of sand and carrying with it the faint, dry rustle of tumbleweeds, drifting slowly across the plateau. The movement is mesmerizing, almost hypnotic, and you pause to observe it, letting the hypnotic dance settle your mind. Life here is measured and deliberate, every step, every breath, every motion, significant. The Wild West is unforgiving, yet in these subtle movements there is also a strange serenity, a gentle reminder that resilience is often quiet and patient rather than loud or forceful. From the edge of the camp, the glow of the fire illuminates the weathered faces of those around it. Their gestures are slow, careful, stirring food, adjusting blankets, tending horses. The simplicity and purpose of each action carry a deep, calming rhythm. Even the soft murmur of conversation seems designed to soothe, blending with the ambient sounds of wind, water, and distant wildlife into a gentle symphony that anchors you to the present moment. Above, the stars shine brilliantly, countless points of light suspended against the indigo sky. The Milky Way arches overhead, a luminous river threading through the heavens, mirrored faintly in the rippling reflections of water in scattered desert pools. The universe feels vast, enduring, and patient, a silent companion to the harsh yet mesmerizing land beneath. With each slow breath, you feel a deepening sense of calm, a quiet awareness that survival in the Wild West is as much about patience and mindfulness as it is about courage or skill. The night wraps around you like a soft blanket, steady and enduring, and for a moment, even the harshness of the desert feels gentle. The fire crackles softly, sending tiny sparks spiraling upward before vanishing into the night. Each flicker illuminates the rugged terrain around you, highlighting the rough textures of rocks, the muted greens of sagebrush, and the worn surfaces of scattered tools and blankets. The warmth against your skin is comforting, a gentle contrast to the crisp, desert air that drifts across the plateau. Every breath carries the mingled sense of smoke, earth, and faint desert flora, grounding you in the quiet rhythm of the night. The distant howl of a coyote stretches across the plains, carrying a haunting yet oddly soothing note. It echoes against the rocks and fades into the vastness, leaving a lingering hum that blends with the soft murmur of the fire and the faint whisper of the wind. Somewhere nearby, a rabbit scuttles through the underbrush, the subtle crunch of its movements blending with the faint rustle of leaves and dry brush. Every sound feels significant here, a part of the steady pulse of life in a land that rewards careful attention and patience. You crouch slightly to examine a shallow pool of water nestled among the rocks. The surface shimmers in the moonlight, reflecting the brilliant stars above, like a scattered constellation within the desert itself. Your fingers brush the cool water, sending ripples that distort the reflection and shimmer with the gentle motion. Each ripple feels like a gentle heartbeat of the desert night, a subtle reminder that life persists, even in the harshest environments. The firelight draws your gaze back to the camp, where the soft murmur of conversation and the occasional laugh blend with the ambient sounds of the wilderness. The motions here are deliberate and calm, stirring a pot, tending to a horse, shifting logs in the fire. These simple acts of survival and care create a rhythm that is both grounding and reassuring, a slow, gentle cadence in a land that rarely offers comfort. Above, the Milky Way stretches across the sky, a soft silver ribbon arching from horizon to horizon. The stars shimmer steadily, each one a silent companion to the quiet movements of the night. You breathe deeply, letting the warmth of the fire, the gentle desert breeze, and the quiet harmony of life around you settle into your body. In this stillness, the Wild West reveals both its challenges and its quiet beauty, teaching patience, resilience, and the gentle strength that comes from moving carefully, observing closely, and honoring the rhythm of the land. The plateau gradually slopes toward a narrow valley, where shadows deepen and the terrain becomes more textured with jagged rocks and scattered scrub. The air carries a cooler chill here, brushing against your skin like a soft whisper, and each breath brings the faint scent of dry earth mixed with distant pine and sage. The desert feels alive in its stillness, every subtle sound amplified against the quiet expanse. A small, unseen stream burbles faintly somewhere below, its gentle rhythm blending with the soft crackle of the campfire behind you. The water's delicate murmur is soothing, a lullaby woven into the fabric of the night. You pause, letting the sound draw your attention inward, your heart rate slowing as the steady cadence of flowing water synchronizes with your breath. The land feels patient, eternal, holding both danger and calm within its grasp. Shadows shift as the wind lifts sand and dust into lazy spirals that catch the moonlight, sparkling briefly before settling. A coyote's distant call echoes off the canyon walls, lonely yet melodic, a reminder of the untamed presence of life around you. You notice a rabbit darting into the brush, its movements precise and cautious. Every tiny motion, every subtle sound carries meaning, and the night seems to pulse with a quiet, deliberate energy that rewards careful attention. The fire behind you flickers warmly, illuminating the encampment with a soft, golden glow. You watch as hands move slowly to tend cooking pots, adjust blankets, and secure horses nearby. The actions are deliberate, almost ritualistic, a quiet choreography born from experience and necessity. Even the low murmur of voices blends with the night's rhythm, creating a slow, calming harmony that carries a sense of safety, patience, and resilience. Above, the stars shine brilliantly, scattered across the sky like silver dust. The Milky Way stretches across the horizon, a luminous ribbon guiding the eye and easing the mind. You breathe slowly, taking in the warmth of the fire, the cool desert breeze, and the gentle hum of life around you. In this moment, the harshness of the Wild West feels softened, replaced with a quiet awareness that survival is not only endurance, but also observation, patience, and the gentle flow of time in a land that teaches both challenge and calm. The valley stretches before you, a gentle hollow cradled between rocky ridges. The moonlight spills across its contours, revealing the subtle textures of sand, stones, and resilient desert plants. Each step you take feels deliberate, measured, as if the land itself urges patience and awareness. The air is crisp, carrying the mingling scents of earth, sage, and faint smoke from distant fires, calming your senses while keeping you alert. A soft breeze stirs the scrub, brushing against your arms and carrying the distant hum of nocturnal life. Somewhere nearby, a lizard scuttles across a sun-warmed rock, disappearing into the shadows, while overhead, an owl glides silently, its wings cutting through the night with precision. Even the smallest creatures move with care, teaching subtle lessons in vigilance, patience, and balance. The stream you heard earlier winds through the valley, its gentle trickle like a quiet heartbeat beneath the vast sky. You kneel by its edge, letting your fingers dip into the cool water, watching the ripples shimmer under the silver light of the moon. The motion is mesmerizing, hypnotic almost, drawing a sense of calm into your chest as you inhale the crisp night air. The sound of flowing water, distant wildlife, and the crackle of fires blends into a soothing symphony that encourages stillness and reflection. Above, the stars gleam like countless diamonds scattered across a velvet sky. The Milky Way arches gracefully, mirrored faintly in the small pools of water trapped between rocks. Each point of light is a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the patience it holds. In the quiet of this night, surrounded by the rhythms of nature and the careful movements of those around the campfire, you feel a gentle steadiness settle over you, a calm awareness that survival in the Wild West is a slow, deliberate art, built on observation, respect, and measured action. The warmth of the fire behind you hums softly against the cool night air. Its flickering glow casts shadows that dance across the ground, and the low murmur of conversation mixes with the whispers of wind and water. Every breath you take, every sound you hear, every movement you make feels in harmony with the night, creating a slow, calming rhythm that carries both presence and reassurance. Here, even amidst the challenges of the desert, there is comfort, continuity, and the quiet promise that patience and attentiveness guide you safely through the night. The gentle slope of the valley leads you closer to the winding stream, its surface shimmering faintly under the moonlight. Each step feels intentional, grounded, as if the desert itself is guiding your pace. The air is cool against your cheeks, carrying the subtle sense of sage, dry earth, and distant pine, mingling softly with the smoky aroma drifting from the campfire behind you. Every inhalation feels refreshing, anchoring you in the present moment. A soft rustle from the scrub catches your attention. A small rabbit darts across the sandy ground, its movements precise and deliberate, disappearing into the shadows. Overhead, the quiet sweep of an owl's wings cuts through the night, almost soundless, yet distinctly present. Even in the stillness, life moves patiently and deliberately, teaching lessons in caution, awareness, and gentle persistence. The stream flows steadily, a narrow ribbon of silver in the darkness. You kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into the cold water. Tiny ripples spread across the surface, reflecting the brilliant stars overhead in fragmented patterns. Each ripple feels hypnotic, a soft pulse that synchronizes with your heartbeat, slowing your thoughts and coaxing a calm, centered presence. The water is a small but profound comfort, a reminder that even in a harsh, unforgiving landscape, life persists and nurtures those who are observant and careful. The campfire glows behind you, its warmth radiating through the crisp air. Sparks drift upward, disappearing into the indigo sky, while soft murmurs of voices blend with the gentle crackle of flames. Every movement around the fire is deliberate, eating food, adjusting blankets, shifting logs, creating a rhythm that mirrors the slow, steady pulse of the desert night. The harmony of human effort and natural life around you forms a soothing lullaby, balancing both caution and reassurance. Above, the stars shine with crystalline clarity, countless points of light scattered across the night sky. The Milky Way stretches like a gentle silver ribbon, a soft guide across the vastness of the universe. You breathe slowly, feeling the cool air, the warm fire, and the quiet flow of water synchronize with your own rhythm. In this moment, the Wild West is both formidable and serene, a world that teaches patience, respect, and the gentle art of surviving with awareness, calm, and quiet wonder. The narrow valley begins to widen again, revealing a stretch of desert bathed in silver moonlight. The ground is a mixture of sand, pebbles, and hardy desert plants, their muted colors softened by the gentle glow. Each step you take is deliberate, sinking slightly into the cool sand, a quiet reminder of the resilience required to traverse this land. The air is crisp and refreshing, carrying the subtle sense of sage, dry soil, and the faint smoky aroma from the distant campfire. A gentle breeze stirs the scrub, brushing against your face and lifting faint trails of dust into the air. Tiny creatures move carefully around you, an unseen lizard slipping between rocks, a rabbit rustling softly through the brush. Even the smallest forms of life are deliberate, their movements measured and cautious, teaching patience and respect for the rhythms of this harsh but beautiful wilderness. The stream, now closer, murmurs softly in its hidden bed. Its trickling sound is hypnotic, echoing slightly off the canyon walls, and you pause to let it fill your awareness. You kneel, dipping your fingers into the cold, clear water. The ripples catch the moonlight, sparkling and shifting like tiny mirrors of the night sky. For a moment, you let your attention linger here, feeling the flow of water, the coolness on your fingers, and the gentle pulse of life around you. The campfire behind you casts a warm, comforting glow. Shadows rise and fall on the rocky surfaces, creating an ever-changing landscape of light and dark. The low murmur of voices, the soft laughter, and the subtle crackle of burning wood form a harmonious rhythm that blends seamlessly with the natural sounds of the desert night. The fire radiates both warmth and reassurance, reminding you that even in a land that tests endurance, moments of comfort and calm can be found. Above, the stars glimmer with unwavering brilliance, scattered across the deep indigo sky. The Milky Way arcs overhead like a luminous ribbon, reflecting faintly in pools of water and the smooth surfaces of stones. Each slow breath, each careful step, and each sound of life around you draws a sense of calm deeper into your body and mind. The Wild West is both challenging and mesmerizing, teaching that survival is a balance of patience, awareness, and quiet reverence for the land's enduring rhythm. The valley continues to open, revealing a gentle rise in the distance, where the land undulates softly beneath the silver moonlight. The air is cool and crisp, brushing lightly against your cheeks and carrying the faint mingled scent of sage, dry earth, and distant smoke from the campfire. Each inhalation feels grounding, pulling you fully into the quiet rhythm of the night. The desert hums with life in subtle ways. Small rustlings in the scrub catch your attention, a rabbit hopping cautiously, a lizard slipping silently between rocks. High above, the faint shadow of an owl gliding across the sky reminds you of the constant presence of watchful eyes in the wilderness. Every motion, no matter how small, seems deliberate, a slow dance of survival and patience. The stream's gentle murmur grows closer, its rhythm steady and hypnotic. You kneel at the edge, dipping your fingers into the icy water. The surface ripples gently, reflecting the brilliant stars above. The movement is soft and mesmerizing, carrying a subtle, calming energy that sinks into your chest and eases tension from your muscles. Even in this harsh, unforgiving landscape, there is the quiet, persistent pulse of life, a small sanctuary of presence and serenity. The fire behind you glows warmly, casting its orange light over the camp. Shadows stretch and contract, rising and falling with the flickering flames, creating a dynamic tapestry of light and dark. Around the fire, soft voices blend with the crackle of burning wood, forming a gentle harmony with the natural sounds of the desert night. The rhythm is slow, deliberate, and comforting, grounding you in a sense of safety and continuity. Above, the stars glimmer brilliantly, a constant in the vast indigo sky. The Milky Way arcs gracefully, its silvery glow mirrored in small pools of water and the smooth stones nearby. With each slow breath, each careful step, and each attentive observation of life around you, a sense of calm deepens. The Wild West, with all its challenges and raw beauty, teaches a delicate balance, patience, awareness, and reverence for the quiet rhythms of the land can carry you safely through even the most demanding nights. The gentle rise ahead guides you toward a rocky outcrop overlooking the valley below. The moonlight casts long shadows across the desert floor, illuminating the subtle textures of sand, stone, and resilient vegetation. Each step feels purposeful, your boots sinking slightly into the cool sand, while the crisp night air brushes softly against your skin. The mingled scents of sage, dry earth, and faint smoke drift gently, calming your senses and centering your awareness. The desert around you hums with quiet life. A rabbit scurries through the scrub, its movements precise and cautious, while a small lizard disappears into the safety of a rock crevice. Overhead, the silent sweep of an owl's wings cuts through the darkness, a ghostly silhouette against the starry sky. Every motion is deliberate, a subtle lesson in patience and careful observation, reminding you that even the smallest actions carry significance in this untamed landscape. From your vantage point, the stream below winds like a silver ribbon through the valley. Its gentle murmur carries upward, a soft, steady rhythm that blends with the low crackle of the campfire behind you. You pause, kneeling on a smooth rock, and dip your fingers into the cold, clear water. Tiny ripples shimmer under the moonlight, fracturing the reflection of countless stars and creating patterns that feel alive. The simple act of touching the water grounds you, a reminder of life's persistence and the quiet comforts the desert offers to those who pay attention. The firelight behind you radiates warmth and life, casting a golden glow on the figures tending it. Movements are slow and deliberate, stirring food, adjusting blankets, smoothing leather, and the low murmur of conversation blends with the ambient desert sounds. The rhythm is meditative, a slow harmony of human care and the pulse of nature, reinforcing a sense of calm and steady presence. Above, the stars shine with unwavering brilliance. The Milky Way stretches across the night sky, mirrored faintly in pools of water and the smooth stones around you. Each deep, slow breath, each careful, mindful step, and each quiet observation of life around you draws a sense of serenity deeper into your body. In this moment, the Wild West reveals its dual nature, formidable and challenging, yet filled with gentle beauty and subtle lessons in patience, resilience, and reverence for the rhythm of the land. The rocky outcrop begins to slope gently downward, leading you toward a small cluster of sagebrush and desert grass that sways softly in the breeze. The moonlight casts a pale silver glow over the terrain, highlighting the rough textures of stone and the delicate forms of resilient plants. Each step feels careful and intentional, your boots sinking slightly into the cool sand as the crisp night air brushes against your skin. The scent of earth, sage, and faint smoke from the campfire drifts around you, a soothing blend that grounds your senses. Small movements catch your eye. A rabbit pauses to nibble a tuft of grass, then darts away into the shadow of a rock. A lizard skitters across the sand and disappears into a crevice. High above, the silent wings of an owl sweep across the sky, a graceful silhouette against the backdrop of countless stars. Even the tiniest forms of life here move with careful deliberation, a quiet reminder that patience and attention are essential in a world shaped by both beauty and danger. The stream winds steadily below, its faint murmur echoing softly through the valley. You pause to kneel beside it, letting your fingers trail through the cold, clear water. Ripples shimmer under the moonlight, reflecting a fragmented tapestry of stars. The hypnotic motion soothes your mind, drawing you deeper into the rhythm of the night, into a quiet awareness of the gentle persistence of life in this rugged landscape. The campfire behind you casts a comforting orange glow, illuminating the worn surfaces of rocks, blankets, and tools. The low murmur of voices, the crackle of flames, and the subtle movements of those tending the camp blend seamlessly with the natural sounds of the desert. There is a slow, meditative rhythm here, a delicate harmony of human care and the pulse of wilderness that reassures and centers you. Above, the Milky Way stretches gracefully across the dark sky, a silver ribbon among countless stars. Each slow breath, each deliberate step, and each gentle observation of the night draws serenity deeper into your body. In this quiet moment, the Wild West reveals its dual essence, formidable yet mesmerizing, harsh yet full of subtle beauty and calm. Here, patience, vigilance, and reverence for the land guide you safely through the night, teaching that survival is as much about mindfulness and presence as it is about skill and endurance. The gentle slope carries you forward, leading into a narrow corridor of rocks that creates a sheltered pathway through the plateau. The moonlight filters down in silver beams, illuminating the subtle curves and crevices of the stones. Each step feels purposeful, your boots sinking lightly into the cool sand as the crisp desert air brushes your face and arms. The mingling scents of sage, dry earth, and faint campfire smoke surround you, calming your mind while keeping your senses alert. A soft rustle from the scrub catches your attention. A small rodent scurries quickly across the sand, disappearing into the shelter of a rock. Overhead, the faint shadow of an owl glides silently across the sky, wings slicing the night air with precise grace. Even in the stillness, life moves carefully and deliberately, teaching quiet lessons in patience, vigilance, and subtle persistence. Each sound, movement, and shadow is a reminder that the Wild West rewards awareness as much as courage. The stream meanders quietly below, its gentle trickle a soothing undercurrent to the night's ambience. You pause to kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into the icy water. Ripples scatter under the moonlight, reflecting tiny fragments of stars, and the hypnotic motion lulls a sense of calm through your chest and shoulders. The small pool is a quiet sanctuary, a subtle reminder that even in the harshest landscapes, life endures with gentle persistence. Behind you, the campfire glows warmly, radiating light and life into the cool air. Sparks drift upward, dancing briefly before disappearing into the indigo sky. The soft murmur of voices, the faint laughter, and the rhythmic movements of those tending the fire blend seamlessly with the sounds of the desert, creating a slow, soothing cadence. Each detail, the shifting shadows, the crackle of wood, the warm glow on weathered faces adds to the gentle harmony that anchors you to the moment. Above, the stars shine with crystalline clarity, and the Milky Way stretches like a luminous ribbon across the heavens. You breathe slowly, feeling the cool air, the warm fire, and the soft murmur of life synchronize with your own rhythm. In this stillness, the desert reveals both its harshness and its beauty, teaching that survival is as much about patience, careful observation, and reverence for the land as it is about endurance or skill. Here, in the quiet embrace of the Wild West night, you are reminded that even in a challenging world, there is calm, persistence, and subtle wonder. The narrow corridor of rocks opens gradually into a small alcove, a natural shelter carved by centuries of wind and time. The moonlight spills in from above, painting the jagged surfaces with soft silver hues. The air is crisp and calm, carrying the mingled scents of dry earth, sage, and a faint trace of smoke from the distant campfire. Each step you take feels deliberate, the cool sand and rough stone grounding you in the quiet rhythm of the night. Life continues its subtle movements around you, A rabbit pauses in the shadows, ears twitching before it darts into safety. A lizard scuttles across a sun-warmed rock and disappears into a narrow crevice. High above, the slow sweep of an owl's wings cuts silently through the sky, a graceful silhouette against the star-filled heavens. Every motion, every sound, feels deliberate and measured, as if the desert itself is teaching lessons in patience, awareness, and careful observation. The stream murmurs gently below the alcove, its water shimmering in fragmented patterns under the moonlight. You kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into the cool, clear flow. Tiny ripples scatter across the surface, reflecting stars and moonlight alike. The soft movement lulls your senses, a hypnotic rhythm that quiets the mind and slows your heartbeat. Even in this harsh, demanding landscape, there are moments of gentle comfort, subtle reminders that life endures with quiet persistence. The campfire glows warmly behind you, illuminating worn blankets, scattered tools, and the careful movements of those tending it. The crackle of flames mixes with the low murmur of voices and the occasional soft laugh, forming a slow, comforting rhythm that harmonizes with the natural sounds of the desert. Every flicker of light and movement adds to the sense of presence, patience, and calm, a reassuring reminder that survival in the Wild West is never solely about strength. It is also about attentiveness, timing, and quiet vigilance. Above, the Milky Way stretches endlessly, a glowing ribbon across the deep indigo sky. Stars gleam like scattered diamonds, constant and unchanging in the vast universe. With each slow breath, each deliberate step, and each careful observation of your surroundings, serenity deepens within you. In this moment, the desert reveals its dual nature, harsh and challenging, yet mesmerizing, full of subtle beauty and gentle lessons. Patience, awareness, and reverence for the rhythms of this land are the keys to moving safely through its quiet, enduring night. The alcove gradually opens into a wider expanse, where the plateau stretches into a gentle rise leading toward the horizon. Moonlight bathes the desert in silver, highlighting the rugged contours of stones and the delicate curves of sagebrush and desert grasses. Each step you take feels slow and intentional, your boots pressing softly into the cool sand. The crisp night air brushes your cheeks and carries the mingled scents of earth, sage, and the faint smoke from the distant campfire, grounding you fully in the stillness of the wilderness. A subtle movement in the brush draws your attention. A small rabbit pauses, its ears alert, before vanishing silently into shadow. Nearby, a lizard scurries across a rock and disappears into a crevice. High above, an owl glides across the sky, wings slicing the darkness with graceful precision. Each motion, small and deliberate, speaks of the quiet persistence and careful awareness required to navigate this harsh yet captivating landscape. The stream meanders gently through the valley below, its steady murmur a calming undertone to the night. You kneel at its edge, dipping your fingers into the icy, clear water. Ripples scatter under the moonlight, reflecting countless stars above. The hypnotic motion eases tension from your muscles and quiets the mind, reminding you that even in a challenging environment, small comforts and steady rhythms offer moments of calm. The fire behind you radiates warmth, its golden glow dancing across rocks and blankets. Soft voices blend with the crackle of flames, creating a meditative rhythm alongside the natural sounds of the desert. Every movement of those tending the fire-stirring pots, adjusting blankets, smoothing leather is deliberate and purposeful, reinforcing a sense of calm, patience, and careful presence. Above, the stars gleam brilliantly, and the Milky Way stretches like a luminous ribbon across the sky. Each deep breath, each gentle step, and each quiet observation of life around you draws serenity deeper into your body and mind. In this peaceful moment, the Wild West shows both its challenge and its quiet, mesmerizing beauty. Survival here is not only about strength or skill, it is about patience, awareness, and reverence for the subtle, enduring rhythms of the land. The gentle rise of the plateau leads you closer to the edge of a small ridge overlooking the valley below. Moonlight spills across the desert floor, casting soft silver highlights on the rocks and sagebrush, and illuminating the subtle textures of sand and stone. Each step feels deliberate, grounding you in the cool, crisp air that brushes against your face and arms. The scents of dry earth, sage, and faint smoke from the campfire drift through the night, wrapping you in a quiet, comforting presence. Life continues in gentle rhythms around you. A rabbit pauses, ears twitching, before disappearing into shadow. A lizard darts between rocks, its movements careful and precise. Overhead, an owl glides silently across the star-studded sky. Every motion, from the smallest scurry to the soft rustle of leaves in the wind, feels deliberate and measured, a subtle reminder that survival here depends on awareness, patience, and attentiveness to the quiet pulse of life. The stream below trickles steadily, a gentle, continuous murmur that threads through the night. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers brush the cool water. Tiny ripples spread across the surface, scattering reflections of stars and moonlight into delicate patterns. The soft motion draws your attention inward, calming your mind and allowing the rhythm of the night to seep into your body. A gentle lesson in the quiet persistence of life amidst a harsh landscape. Behind you, the campfire glows with a warm, steady light, radiating comfort into the surrounding darkness. Sparks rise and vanish into the night, and the low murmur of voices blends with the crackle of flames. Movements are deliberate and soothing, stirring pots, adjusting blankets, and tending horses, all creating a rhythm of care and presence that resonates with the slow, natural pulse of the desert. Above, the Milky Way stretches across the sky, luminous and steady, mirrored faintly in pools of water and the smooth stones scattered below. The stars gleam with crystalline clarity, their brilliance offering a silent companion to the vastness of the landscape. Each slow breath, each mindful step, and each gentle observation draws calm deeper into your being. In this quiet, moonlit moment, the Wild West reveals its dual nature, challenging yet mesmerizing, harsh yet full of subtle beauty, teaching patience, awareness, and reverence for the enduring rhythms of the land. The ridge opens gradually, giving you a sweeping view of the valley bathed in the silver glow of moonlight. The desert stretches endlessly, dotted with scattered rocks, resilient scrub, and the occasional hardy desert flower, each detail softened under the gentle illumination. Every step you take across the cool sand feels intentional, deliberate, grounding you fully in the still, crisp air. The mingled scents of sage, earth, and distant campfire drift lightly, inviting a slow, calming breath. A rabbit pauses in the shadows, ears alert, before darting silently into the scrub. A lizard slides across a sun-warmed rock, disappearing into the shelter of a crevice. High above, an owl glides soundlessly through the night sky, wings slicing the darkness with effortless grace. Every movement, from the smallest rustle to the faintest ripple in the stream below, is precise, deliberate, a gentle reminder that survival in the Wild West depends on attentiveness and measured care. The stream trickles quietly below, its soft, steady murmur a soothing counterpoint to the occasional whisper of wind through sagebrush. You kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into the icy water. Ripples shimmer under the moonlight, scattering stars across the surface in a delicate, mesmerizing pattern. The hypnotic motion eases tension in your shoulders, slows your heartbeat, and draws your mind into the steady, quiet rhythm of the night. Behind you, the campfire radiates warmth, casting golden light over the worn blankets, scattered tools, and careful movements of those tending it. The low murmur of conversation blends with the crackle of the flames, forming a meditative rhythm that harmonizes with the natural sounds of the desert. Each flicker of light, each deliberate movement, reinforces a sense of calm, patience, and quiet attentiveness. Above, the stars shine brilliantly against the deep indigo sky. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a luminous ribbon, mirrored faintly in pools of water and smooth stones nearby. Each slow, steady breath, every gentle step, and every mindful observation of life around you draws serenity deeper into your body. In this tranquil, moonlit moment, the Wild West reveals itself in duality, formidable yet captivating, harsh yet quietly beautiful, offering lessons in patience, vigilance, and gentle reverence for the enduring rhythm of the land. The ridge slopes gradually downward, guiding you toward a patch of desert dotted with low shrubs and scattered rocks. Moonlight spills over the landscape, illuminating the rough textures of stone and the delicate forms of resilient plants. Each step feels measured and intentional, your boots pressing gently into the cool sand. The air is crisp, carrying the mingled scents of sage, dry earth, and the faint smoke drifting from the distant campfire. Every inhale grounds you, every exhale eases tension and deepens calm. Subtle movements in the night catch your attention. A rabbit pauses briefly before disappearing into the scrub, its steps careful and deliberate. A lizard scuttles into the shadow of a rock crevice, its tiny claws scraping softly against stone. Above, the silent glide of an owl sweeps through the sky, wings slicing the darkness effortlessly. Every motion, no matter how small, seems deliberate, teaching lessons in patience, awareness, and careful observation, essential skills for surviving in this untamed land. The stream below murmurs gently, its soft flow a soothing undercurrent to the desert's stillness. You kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into the icy water. Ripples scatter across the surface, catching fragments of moonlight and star reflections, mesmerizing in their gentle movement. The simple act of touching the water, of observing its slow flow, draws a quiet calm into your body, anchoring you to the present moment and reminding you of life's persistence even in harsh surroundings. The campfire glows behind you, its warmth radiating into the cool night. Sparks drift upward, fading into the deep indigo sky, while the soft murmur of voices and the gentle crackle of flames create a rhythmic harmony with the ambient sounds of the desert. Every motion stirring a pot, adjusting a blanket, tending a horse is deliberate, contributing to a slow, steady cadence that balances vigilance with reassurance. Above, the stars shine like countless diamonds scattered across the sky, and the Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a glowing ribbon. Each deep, slow breath, every careful step, and every mindful observation draws serenity deeper into your being. In this quiet, moonlit landscape, the Wild West reveals both its challenge and its subtle beauty, showing that survival is as much about patience, awareness, and reverence for the land as it is about skill or strength. The desert floor begins to level out as you move away from the ridge, revealing a stretch of open plain dotted with sagebrush and scattered rocks. Moonlight bathes the terrain in a soft silver glow, illuminating every subtle texture of sand, stone, and resilient desert plants. Each step feels deliberate, measured, grounding you in the quiet rhythm of the night. The crisp air carries the sense of dry earth, sage, and a faint trace of campfire smoke, mingling into a calming, grounding aroma. Small movements in the scrub catch your attention. A rabbit pauses, ears twitching, before darting into a shadowed hollow. A lizard slips silently into a crevice in the rocks, almost invisible against the moonlit ground. Above, an owl glides effortlessly across the star-filled sky, wings cutting silently through the cool air. Each motion, subtle and deliberate, is a lesson in awareness, patience, and quiet vigilance skills necessary for life in the vast, unforgiving landscape. The stream continues its gentle course through the valley below, its soft murmur blending with the whispers of wind through the sagebrush. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers trail through the cold, clear water. Tiny ripples scatter under the moonlight, reflecting stars and creating a hypnotic, shifting pattern that eases the mind and relaxes the body. The simple presence of water here, a small but vital lifeline, reminds you that even in harsh terrain, life persists in quiet, steady ways. Behind you, the campfire glows warmly, illuminating the careful movements of those tending it. Sparks rise into the night, while the soft murmur of voices and the crackle of flames form a soothing rhythm that harmonizes with the natural sounds of the desert. Every deliberate gesture, stirring a pot, shifting a blanket, adjusting a horse, reinforces the steady cadence of human presence in the wilderness, offering reassurance and calm. Above, the stars shine with crystalline clarity, and the Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a luminous ribbon. Each slow, deep breath, each mindful step, and each gentle observation of life around you draws serenity further into your body and mind. In this quiet, moonlit moment, the Wild West shows its dual nature, harsh yet mesmerizing, challenging yet quietly beautiful, teaching that survival depends as much on patience, awareness, and reverence for the land as it does on strength or skill. The open plain begins to undulate gently, small rises and dips giving the landscape a soft, rolling quality under the silver moonlight. Each step you take presses lightly into the cool sand, grounding you in the quiet rhythm of the desert night. The crisp air carries a mix of earthy scents, dry soil, sage, and the faint smoke drifting from the campfire behind you. Each inhalation feels calming, each exhale releasing tension, pulling you deeper into the present moment. Life persists quietly around you. A rabbit pauses in the scrub, ears twitching as it senses movement, before vanishing into the shadows. A lizard slips into a crevice between rocks, nearly invisible against the moonlit ground. High above, the silent glide of an owl stretches across the sky, wings moving effortlessly, a shadow among countless stars. Every subtle motion is a reminder that awareness and patience are vital in a land where the smallest misstep can have consequences. The stream winds quietly below, its gentle babble threading through the stillness of the valley. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers touch the cold, clear water. Ripples scatter across its surface, catching fragments of moonlight and stars, mesmerizing in their gentle motion. The sensation of the cool water and the rhythmic movement of the ripples lull your senses, creating a soft, meditative presence. Even in this rugged, unforgiving environment, moments of quiet comfort emerge, grounding you and offering reassurance. Behind you, the fire glows warmly, its golden light flickering over rocks, blankets, and the careful movements of those tending it. The soft murmur of voices and the occasional crackle of flames form a slow, soothing rhythm that blends seamlessly with the ambient sounds of the desert. Each deliberate gesture, stirring a pot, adjusting a blanket, smoothing leather, is part of a steady, comforting cadence that reflects human care and attentiveness in the wilderness. Above, the stars shine brilliantly, the Milky Way arching like a luminous ribbon across the deep indigo sky. Each slow, deliberate breath, every mindful step, and every quiet observation of life around you draws serenity deeper into your body. In this moonlit stillness, the Wild West reveals its dual essence, formidable yet beautiful, challenging yet full of subtle lessons in patience, awareness, and reverence for the enduring rhythms of the land. The rolling plain stretches onward, soft rises and dips, leading your steps through the moonlit desert. The sand beneath your boots feels cool and steady, each footprint a gentle mark that disappears quickly in the quiet night air. The crisp breeze brushes against your skin, carrying with it the mingled scents of sage, dry earth, and the faint smoke drifting from the campfire behind you. Every inhalation grounds you, every exhale releases tension, deepening your sense of calm. Small signs of life continue to catch your attention. A rabbit pauses in the shadows, alert, before slipping quietly into the brush. A lizard glides across the sand and vanishes into the safety of a rock crevice. High above, the silent wings of an owl sweep across the sky, a soft silhouette against the stars. Every subtle movement, each quiet sound, serves as a reminder of the careful awareness required to navigate this vast, untamed land. The stream murmurs gently below, winding its way through the valley in a slow, steady rhythm. You kneel beside it, dipping your fingers into the icy, clear water. Tiny ripples scatter across its surface, catching the reflections of stars and moonlight in delicate, shimmering patterns. The hypnotic motion eases your mind, slows your heartbeat, and draws your awareness into the gentle pulse of the night, reminding you of the quiet persistence of life in the harshest landscapes. Behind you, the campfire glows warmly, radiating comfort into the surrounding darkness. Sparks rise and drift upward, fading into the indigo sky, while the low murmur of voices blends with the crackle of the flames. The deliberate movements of those tending the fire-stirring pots, adjusting blankets, tending horses form a calming rhythm that harmonizes with the natural sounds of the desert. Each gesture reinforces a sense of patience, vigilance, and quiet care. Above, the stars shine with crystalline clarity, and the Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a luminous ribbon. Each slow breath, each careful step, and each mindful observation of your surroundings draws serenity deeper into your body and mind. In this moment, the Wild West shows both its formidable challenge and subtle, mesmerizing beauty. Survival here is not only about courage or skill, it is about patience, awareness, and a quiet reverence for the enduring rhythms of the land. The plain begins to slope gently upward again, leading to a distant rise, where rocks cluster like silent sentinels under the moonlight. The silver glow illuminates the desert floor, softening the textures of sand, stones, and hardy scrub. Each step feels deliberate and grounding, the cool air brushing against your skin and carrying the mingled scents of sage, dry earth, and the faint smoke from the distant campfire. Every inhale brings calm, every exhale releases tension, anchoring you to the moment. Small movements in the scrub catch your attention. A rabbit freezes, ears twitching, before slipping silently into the shadows. A lizard scuttles quickly across a sun-warmed rock, disappearing into the safety of a crevice. Above, an owl glides silently through the sky, wings cutting effortlessly through the night air. Every subtle motion teaches patience, vigilance, and careful observation, lessons necessary for life in a land both beautiful and unforgiving. The stream below winds gently through the valley, its quiet murmur a soothing undertone to the night. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers trail in the icy water. Ripples spread across the surface, scattering reflections of stars and moonlight into tiny, shifting patterns. The gentle movement lulls your senses, quieting the mind and easing your body into a slower, more deliberate rhythm. Even here, Amidst a harsh and challenging environment, the quiet persistence of life provides comfort and reassurance. The campfire behind you radiates warmth and safety, its golden glow casting dancing shadows over rocks, blankets, and the careful movements of those tending it. The low murmur of voices blends with the crackle of flames, forming a soothing, meditative rhythm. Every action stirring food, adjusting a blanket, smoothing leather is deliberate and calming, a slow cadence that harmonizes human care with the natural pulse of the desert. Above, the stars gleam brightly in the deep indigo sky, the Milky Way stretching like a luminous ribbon across the heavens. Each slow breath, each gentle step, and each mindful observation of life around you draws serenity deeper into your body and mind. In this quiet, moonlit moment, the Wild West reveals its dual nature, formidable and challenging, yet subtly beautiful and full of lessons in patience, awareness, and reverence for the enduring rhythms of the land. The gentle rise ahead leads you to a rocky outcrop, offering a quiet vantage point over the sweeping desert below. Moonlight bathes the terrain in soft silver, highlighting the textures of sand, stone, and sparse desert vegetation. Each step feels mindful, deliberate, grounding you in the crisp, cool air that brushes gently against your skin. The mingled scents of dry earth, sage, and faint smoke from the distant campfire surround you, bringing a sense of calm and presence. Life persists quietly around you. A rabbit pauses in the scrub, its ears alert, before slipping silently into shadow. A lizard skitters across a sun-warmed rock and disappears into the safety of a crevice. High above, the silent glide of an owl sweeps across the sky, a graceful silhouette among countless stars. Every subtle motion, each soft rustle, serves as a gentle reminder that survival in this harsh landscape relies on patience, careful observation, and steady awareness. The stream below winds through the valley, its soft murmur blending with the quiet whisper of wind through the sagebrush. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers trail through the cold, clear water. Tiny ripples scatter across the surface, reflecting fragments of stars and moonlight, mesmerizing in their delicate patterns. The flowing water carries a hypnotic rhythm that eases your mind, slows your heartbeat, and draws a quiet serenity deep into your body. Behind you, the campfire glows warmly, its flickering light casting dancing shadows across blankets, tools, and the careful movements of those tending it. The low murmur of voices blends with the crackle of the flames, forming a steady, meditative rhythm that harmonizes with the ambient sounds of the desert. Each deliberate gesture stirring a pot, adjusting a blanket, tending a horse adds to the calm, comforting cadence of human care in the wilderness. Above, the stars shine with unwavering brilliance, the Milky Way stretching across the heavens like a luminous ribbon. Each slow breath, each mindful step, and each quiet observation of life around you deepens serenity. In this tranquil moment, the Wild West reveals its dual essence, challenging yet mesmerizing, harsh yet filled with subtle beauty, teaching that survival depends on patience, awareness, and reverence for the enduring rhythms of the land. The rocky outcrop slopes gently into a small plateau, a quiet space where the desert stretches out in every direction under the soft glow of moonlight. The sand is cool beneath your boots, and each step feels grounded and deliberate. The crisp air brushes your skin, carrying the mingled scents of sage, dry earth, and the faint, comforting aroma of distant campfire smoke. Every inhale draws calm into your body. Every exhale releases tension, easing your mind into stillness. Life continues in its subtle, quiet rhythms. A rabbit pauses near a patch of scrub, ears twitching, before slipping silently into the shadows. A lizard scurries across the sand, disappearing into a rocky crevice. Above, an owl glides silently through the night sky, wings moving with effortless grace. Every movement, no matter how small, seems deliberate. A gentle lesson in awareness, patience, and careful observation skills, essential in a land both beautiful and unforgiving. The stream below trickles gently, its soft murmur threading through the stillness of the valley. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers glide through the cool, clear water. Ripples scatter under the moonlight, reflecting stars and fragments of sky in delicate, mesmerizing patterns. The hypnotic motion slows your heartbeat, eases tension, and draws your awareness into the quiet rhythm of the night. A reminder that life persists with quiet, gentle persistence, even in harsh circumstances. Behind you, the campfire glows steadily, its golden warmth illuminating the careful movements of those tending it. Sparks drift upward, fading into the night, while the low murmur of voices blends with the crackle of the flames, creating a soothing rhythm that harmonizes with the ambient sounds of the desert. Every deliberate gesture, stirring food, adjusting blankets, tending horses, adds to the slow, comforting cadence of human presence in this wilderness. Above, the stars shine brilliantly, the Milky Way stretching across the heavens like a luminous ribbon. Each slow breath, every careful step, and every mindful observation of life around you draws serenity deeper into your being. In this quiet, moonlit moment, the Wild West reveals its dual nature, challenging yet mesmerizing, harsh yet quietly beautiful, teaching that survival depends on patience, vigilance, and reverence for the subtle, enduring rhythms of the land. The plateau opens further, revealing a stretch of desert that seems to roll endlessly beneath the silver glow of the moon. Each step is slow, deliberate, your boots pressing lightly into the cool sand. The air is crisp and calm, carrying the mingled scents of dry earth, sage, and faint smoke from the distant campfire. Every inhalation fills your lungs with grounding calm, and every exhale releases tension, deepening a sense of quiet presence. Subtle signs of life continue to unfold around you. A rabbit pauses in the scrub, ears alert, before slipping silently into the shadow of a rock. A lizard skitters quickly across the sand, disappearing into the shelter of a crevice. High above, an owl glides silently through the night sky, wings moving with effortless grace. Each movement, no matter how small, teaches patience, vigilance, and careful observation, necessary skills for navigating this vast, untamed land. The stream meanders quietly below, its gentle babble threading through the stillness of the valley. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers trail through the cold, clear water. Tiny ripples scatter across the surface, reflecting fragments of moonlight and stars in mesmerizing, shifting patterns. The flowing water draws your awareness inward, easing your mind and slowing your heartbeat. Even in this rugged, unforgiving landscape, the gentle persistence of life offers comfort and grounding. The campfire behind you radiates warmth, its flickering light casting dancing shadows over rocks, blankets, and the careful movements of those tending it. The low murmur of voices blends with the soft crackle of flames, creating a steady, meditative rhythm. Every deliberate gesture, stirring a pot, adjusting a blanket, tending a horse, adds to the slow, calming cadence, harmonizing human care with the pulse of the desert night. Above, the stars shine with crystalline clarity, and the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a luminous ribbon. Each deep breath, each mindful step, and each quiet observation of life around you draws serenity further into your body and mind. In this tranquil, moonlit moment, the Wild West reveals its dual nature, formidable yet mesmerizing, harsh yet full of subtle beauty, teaching that survival depends on patience, awareness, and reverence for the enduring rhythms of the land. The desert stretches farther now, the moonlight painting long, silver paths across the sand and stones. Each step you take is slow, deliberate, grounding you in the cool, crisp air. The faint scent of sage drifts by, mingling with the earthy aroma of the desert and a trace of distant campfire smoke. Each inhale draws calm into your chest. Each exhale releases tension, settling your body into the rhythm of the night. Life continues quietly around you. A rabbit pauses at the edge of a scrub patch, ears twitching, before slipping softly into the shadows. A lizard darts across a sun-warmed rock and disappears into a crevice. Overhead, the silent sweep of an owl gliding across the star-strewn sky reminds you of the careful awareness the desert demands. Every subtle movement teaches patience, vigilance, and respect for the rhythms of this untamed land. The stream below trickles steadily, its gentle murmurs harmonizing with the soft sigh of wind through the sagebrush. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers dip into the icy water. Ripples scatter across its surface, reflecting stars and moonlight in delicate, shimmering patterns. The motion draws your attention inward, quieting your mind and slowing your heartbeat. Even in this rugged wilderness, life persists gently, offering comfort and reassurance to those who move carefully and observe attentively. The campfire behind you glows warmly, its flickering light casting long shadows over blankets, rocks, and the careful movements of those tending it. The low murmur of voices blends seamlessly with the crackle of flames, forming a soft, meditative rhythm that mirrors the pulse of the desert. Every motion stirring food, adjusting blankets, tending horses is deliberate, reinforcing a sense of calm, patience, and quiet presence. Above, the stars shine brilliantly, the Milky Way stretching like a luminous ribbon across the heavens. Each deep, slow breath, every careful step, and every mindful observation of life around you draws serenity deeper into your body. In this quiet, moonlit moment, the Wild West shows its dual nature, challenging yet beautiful, harsh yet filled with subtle lessons in patience, awareness, and reverence for the enduring rhythms of the land. The desert now feels almost endless, stretching toward the horizon under the silver glow of the moon. Each step is slow, deliberate, your boots pressing softly into the cool sand. The air is crisp and clean, carrying the mingled scents of sage, dry earth, and a faint trace of campfire smoke. Every inhalation fills you with calm, and every exhale releases tension, letting your body settle fully into the quiet rhythm of the night. Life continues in subtle, gentle ways. A rabbit pauses in the scrub, ears alert, before slipping quietly into the shadows. A lizard disappears into a rocky crevice, nearly invisible in the moonlight. Above, an owl glides silently across the star-studded sky. Each motion, no matter how small, reminds you that attentiveness, patience, and respect are essential for navigating this vast, untamed land. The stream below trickles softly, its gentle murmur blending with the whispering wind through the sagebrush. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers trail through the cool, clear water. Ripples scatter across its surface, reflecting the moon and stars in tiny, shifting fragments. The hypnotic movement soothes your mind, slows your heartbeat, and draws a quiet serenity deep into your body. Life persists here with gentle persistence, even amidst harsh and challenging surroundings. The campfire behind you glows steadily, casting a warm golden light over blankets, rocks, and the careful movements of those tending it. The soft murmur of voices blends with the crackle of flames, forming a comforting rhythm that mirrors the natural pulse of the desert. Every deliberate action stirring food, adjusting a blanket, tending a horse adds to the slow, calming cadence, reinforcing presence, patience, and care. Above, the stars shine brilliantly, and the Milky Way stretches like a luminous ribbon across the sky. Each slow breath, every mindful step, and every quiet observation draws serenity deeper into your being. The Wild West, with all its challenges and beauty, teaches that survival depends not only on strength or skill, but on patience, awareness, and reverence for the subtle, enduring rhythms of the land. In this moonlit, tranquil moment, you are reminded that even in the most unforgiving places, calm persistence and quiet wonder guide you safely through the night. Thank you for joining this journey through the Wild West. As you settle into rest, let the cool desert air, the gentle stream, and the warm glow of the campfire carry calm into your mind and body. Remember the slow rhythm of the night, the steady pulse of life, and the quiet beauty of observation and patience. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Share where you're watching from, whether it's the US, Europe, Canada, or elsewhere, and what time of day you found yourself here with the story. May the gentle desert night guide you into peaceful rest, and may calmness and serenity follow you into sleep.